Hello, my name is Andres Julian Gomez, blogger and creator of an entrepreneur blog. Today in this video, I have a very special topic. I'm going to share with all my viewers and my readers the story of how I created an entrepreneur blog. An entrepreneur blog actually started about 4 years ago, initially in its Spanish version, Blog Un Emprendedor, and I translated it to English about 2 years ago. You might be wondering why I created an entrepreneur blog and its Spanish version of this blog. And the answer is very simple. Initially, I wanted to share my story as an entrepreneur, all the mistakes I had made, the success I had. I wanted to share this story to all the world. As I said before, I started this blog about 4 years ago. At that time, I was a student. I was working, but I also was a student, and I thought maybe it was interesting to create a blog, to tell the world my story, and experience once again what is to have a website. Throughout the years, I had many websites, but at that time, I didn't have any website, so I decided it was nice to take chances again and create a website where I could be able to tell my story, which I thought was kind of interesting. Initially, as I said before, I was working when I created this blog, so the blog was not my number one priority. However, I thought that it was worth the while to create a networking, to talk with other bloggers, to tell them about my blog, to write comments on other people's blog, even blogs that were in Spanish and in English. Also to do a little of search engine optimization work, and this actually paid off very quick. Initially I started with the blog with a page rank of Google of 0, and in a couple of months I had a page rank of 2. Later in the year I had a page rank of 3, which I thought, well, for the resources and the time I had for the blog, was very successful at the time. About 6 months after I created the original blog, I also became an independent consultant. This was actually my main job. So I didn't have a lot of free time. Most of the time was being devoted to being a consultant. So I wasn't able to keep up with the blog as maybe I should have wanted. So I decided to stop writing or write very few articles, and the blog became my second, almost third or fourth priority. With time, something very interesting happened. The blog, which had publicity from the get-go, and which was publicity that brought me a little bit of money, maybe enough to pay my hosting fees, not much more, came an excellent resource for my consultant firm. Although these were two apparently different topics, consulting on one side and entrepreneurship on the other, the blogging entrepreneurship brought me respect. People started knowing about me. They started contacting me, asking me to give lectures, to write articles, and much more. So without even thinking it, not even planning it, the blog became my source of respect, and a part of my jobs actually came directly from the blog. Starting this year, my sister started working with me in the blog. She started writing also articles from different perspectives, and we decided this was a strategic move that for the undesired and unplanned success we've had with the blog, bringing us work for the consulting firm, that we should work more and put more emphasis on our blog and be more strategical as part of our work as consultant. So currently we're working on this, doing more networking, talking with other bloggers, making our blog known, and this strategy we hope will pay off in maybe several months or even next year. As a conclusion for these 4 years that I've been working on these blogs, I can say it has been very interesting. I have learned many things. I have talked with people around the world that without the blog I wouldn't have ever met them. So it has been very interesting. Directly from the blog, money-wise, it hasn't been the best business, but as I said earlier, as a, let's call it a collateral damage, it has brought me many things, very interesting jobs for my consulting firm. Before I go, I want to stress two very important points about being a blogger. The first is that you can have a blog. It's quite easy to create a simple blog, but it will be very, very difficult to create success from one day to another. This requires time, maybe months or even years. Constant writing, have a strategic plan of how you're going to achieve success. And the second aspect is that most blogs probably won't generate enough revenue to live from them. However, there are other elements that might be interesting. For example, in my case, being known, people knowing who I am, contacting me for another not related jobs to the actual blog. So these might be interesting topics that you might want to explore. Thank you very much for watching this video. This has been Andres Julian Gomez from An Entrepreneur Blog. Please remember to leave your comments and suggestions at the end of this page. And also, please share this video with your friends, family, and followers in social networks. See you next time.